Hello guys, in this session we'll be looking at how to let Sonia like build the program, the redo method in a way that Sonia is not going to tell us that uh, proceeding to the next redo when we know we don't have any redo to say for her to say anymore. When she has exhausted the list, how is she now going to know that okay, I've exhausted the riddle in the list? How is she going to know so that she's not going to tell the user proceeding to the next riddle whether it's correct or incorrect? Because it doesn't just make any sense. That will make Sonia look more dumber than she is. But we're not actually building a dumb AI here. Uh, we're building something smart. Now, for the AI parts, for the AI-ish, this is not really too AI-ish. This is not really too advanced, but this is just a dummy AI software. You could call this a dummy AI software anyways. So to do this, we're going to use the if else to do this. I want to take a few seconds or minutes to guess where this could be done. I've already exposed it. It's here. I believe you're a psychologist. Me moving my mouse here, you will know already. So without no further ado, so that whole logic will be happening inside of this block statement, conditional statement here. So how do we know the list has been exhausted, right? So we need to perform, write a logic that is going to get the total amount of the uh, items in the list. And the way we do that is using the len function and then passing the variable holding the list inside of that len function. And now um, remember that Python counts from 0 while humans count from 1. So we need to also check the index. Do you get when Sonia has read the last index, when she has read the last riddle for us, we want to check the index of that. We want to keep on checking the index of the items inside of the array, right? We want to keep on checking the index, and that was why we had this imported here. One of the major reasons why we did this, which was the same thing we did here. So we'll come here and say if index, right, is not equal to, and then len, we're taking the self with riddles, then we'll say minus 1. So basically, this is kind of like checking the index. Let's say for the first time, the index is 0 to check. If 0 is not equal to the len, this will return 6. But you know, Python is going to come from 0 to to uh, to 5. So the precedence, so the total amount of the list is exhausted. So to start from 0, here will become, here now, we need to get the total amount of list. Here will become 6. And we need to minus 6 from 1, which is now 5, right? So we need to say, we say if index is not equal to 5, right? If index is not equal to 5, we're nexting, what we're basically doing now, we're nexting an if else statement instead of an if else statement. So this is just nexting, chaining if else statement, logical statement, and all that. So in here, what we want to do is we want to put this guy inside of here. And now this if else statement now, right? If the index is not equal to the length of the distance of the item in the list of the total item in the list. If it's not equal to that means Sonia, that means Sonia has not exhausted the the riddles in the list, right? She has not reached the last one, right? So yeah. Okay. So what if now she has reached the last item in the list. She's now reading the last video to us. Do you get? This would not run because at that point in time, the index of that item will be 5. Here will be 5. I remember we did learn of self.reduce, which is 6 minus 1 is 5. So when this equates true, this would not run. So we need to initialize an else statement. I remember all of these are inside this else statement, this if statement here. So So we'll say else. What do we want Sonia to say? Remember, we are trying to stop Sonia from telling us proceeding to the next riddle when we know that the riddle has been exhausted. So we'll say Sonia dot speak. F. We just want her to say if it's the last riddle, whether it's correct or not. If it's correct, we want her to say correct. Name correct. Remember, this is checking if it's correct, so it has to be correct. Everything here has to be correct because this if statement is checking if it's correct. Whereas else, if it's not correct, and if we've reached the last riddle, we need to still call this same logic. So I'll just copy this and paste this here. Yeah, I copy this and paste this here, and then I'll change this to incorrect, incorrect, and then here I'll change it to incorrect. So else, if the last riddle or whatever riddle is not correct, and if we are on the last, if we're on the last riddle, it's not going to check. It's always going to check, right? To check if it's not equal to the last riddle, run this. But if it's the last riddle, tell the user that it's just incorrect. Don't tell the user you're proceeding to the next riddle when there is no other riddle. So this is how to do this. So I'll save this, go back to app.py, and then let's run, see what happens.
Hello, I'm Sonia, your virtual companion. Here is a list of what I could do. What's your name?
So I'll use, let me say James this time.
Nice to meet you, James. What would you have me do?
Uh, Still tell me a riddle.
Here is a list of riddles. Please impress me by answering at least 4 riddles correctly. What word begins with a T, ends with a T, and has a T in it?
Teapot.
Correct, James. Proceeding to the next riddle. Princess Mother has 3 children. Their names are Prince, Tom. What's the name of the third child?
So I'm only going to get one question correctly, purposefully, and then I'll fail the rest. So let's see if she's going to tell me I did poorly, and let's see even after the last riddle if she's going to tell me proceeding to the next question, to the next riddle of which she's not supposed to because that is the last riddle. So I'll just put some kind of like rubbish.
Incorrect, James. Proceeding to the next riddle. What word is spelled wrong in the dictionary?
I'll just say nonsense here.
Incorrect, James. Proceeding to the next riddle. A boat sinks, and every single person drowns. Who survives?
Rubbish.
Incorrect, James. Proceeding to the next riddle. Kelly has 3 daughters, and each daughter has a brother. How many children does Kelly have?
So we've gone through one, two, three, four, five, five. This is the fifth. So I'll just put nonsense here.
Incorrect, James. Proceeding to the next riddle. The more you take, the more you leave behind. What are they?
So this is the sixth riddle. So at this point, she's not supposed to tell us proceeding to the next riddle again. She's supposed to tell us it is correct or not. She's not supposed to tell us proceeding to, and after that, she's supposed to tell us, or before that, she's supposed to tell us, okay, how our intelligent IQ, based on the intelligent IQ of the person answering this question, okay, you did poorly or did you do great? Remember, I only answered one and I'm going to fail the rest of them. So let's see if she's going to tell me if I did poorly.
Incorrect, James. You did poorly, James. You answered only 1 riddles correctly out of 6 riddles.
So yeah, you see, she didn't tell me proceeding to the next question again because we've handled that. So guys, that is everything for building the riddle parts for Sonia. So let's look at how to build music to tell to let music I say to let music to let Sonia play music for us. So without no further ado, I'll just stop this video here, and then in the next video we're going to be looking at how to make that feature come alive.